Hey there, everyone. It's Christophe Choo from Coldwell Banker Global Luxury in Beverly Hills with my buddy John Reyes. John, how long do we go back together?
I know it's at least more than a decade. I think, we have this conversation and I just know it's been a long time.
A long time, and I love this guy. And he's the founder of Social Networks, which is one of the top, I would say, marketing company for real estate agents?
Yeah, that's right. We do a ton of videos for real estate agents, and more than anything, I think that we're most known for our speaking on a national level at some of the biggest real estate events and out there sharing the word. In fact, on the way over here, I was just wrapping up my notes for the upcoming NAR conference, which I'm super pumped to be at.
He's always speaking at NAR, CAR, all the big places. I don't get invited to those, but John does. But John's company really does a lot to help agents, which is what we're talking about today, is how to be relevant in today's world, but not just here to talk about another seminar and a conference. This is a very special seminar. For those of you that know me, I've been supporting Covenant House, the homeless youth shelter here in California. Covenant House is all around the world, but I've been on the board, I've been gala chair numerous times and done a lot of things for Covenant House here in California, which is a homeless youth shelter where we help get youth off the streets. We bring them into the shelter. We help them get job training, job skills, get off the streets, and then in the next 3 to 5 years, they have their own apartment, they've saved money, and they can be productive members of society. So the annual Sleep Out is coming up in November 21st. And unfortunately this year I'm not going to be able to attend. I have something else to do, but John is going to be my team leader and is going to lead my team for the Sleep Out at Covenant House. But what we're doing next week on November 6th is we're having a conference in Downey. Glendora.
Glendora, yes.
And tell a little bit about the conference.
So it's Relevant Agent 2020. Redefining relevance in real estate with digital marketing. The one thing that we know, hey Tanya, hey Albert, by the way, one thing that we know,
hi Lori, hi Murray,
is that the real estate market has changed drastically over the last 10 years, let alone 5 years, let alone just the last year in itself. And we have the emergence of these new technologies, new companies. You're no longer competing with just your fellow realtors, you're competing with Wall Street as well, which that's nuts, right? You're competing against these big name brands that are out there trying to take business, and in some cases, you have companies that are basically saying that real estate agents aren't necessarily relevant. And although I do believe that they are indeed real estate agents that are not relevant, they choose to keep their head in the sand. For those that bring true and legit value to the marketplace, that's the whole purpose of this event, is to make sure that you are ahead of the curve and not just providing you some up-to-date information. I'm talking about making sure that you're able to jump in front of the line so that way you're able to promote your brand and help more people.
And it's funny because I've been selling real estate for 32 years. Many of you know that follow me. John, you're barely 32. You're what, 30?
38 actually.
38.
I'll say 32 anyway.
He was in diapers when I was starting to sell real estate. So the world really has changed in the last, 32 years selling real estate. When I started, we barely had computers. We didn't have the internet. None of that existed. So the world has really changed. So this particular event next week, we still have a few seats, like 20 seats.
I would say maybe about 25, 30 seats.
Cool.
Available for the upcoming event.
So it's going to be in Glendora next Wednesday, and we have 5 really top speakers coming, and we're all donating our time and our efforts because 100% of the proceeds we raise will go directly to help the kids at Covenant House. And I really mean 100%, meaning no admin fees, no fees for where we're giving the conference, no speaker fees, nothing. 100% of every dollar raised will go directly to help getting youth off the streets, getting them jobs, and getting them to be productive members of society. But what's great about the conference is, for example, my good friend Marty Rodriguez, who I met initially probably 28 or 29 years ago. Marty was already a very successful agent, one of the top in the world at Century 21, and she still is top in the world. And Marty's been doing this, I think, for 40 years? Around 40 years. Yeah. And I admire Marty just, first of all, as a human being, as a mother, as a wife, as a great soul in this universe. And what's so special about Marty is she has really adopted herself in the digital age. I don't know if you see Marty or follow Marty, you should. But she's doing video, she's doing social media posts. She's making herself relevant again after almost 40 years in the business, which is creating more business for her and more benefits to her buyers and sellers. So it's going to be a really great conference, and we're going to have a couple of the youth speak from Covenant House about their experience and why we're all coming and why we're all spending money to raise money for Covenant House. We'll have Covenant House talk about what they do to support the youth. I'm going to have my own talk about how to be digitally relevant in the world of video and social media. And I'm going to do a little fireside chat with Marty, talking to her about how she went from being one of the top brokers in the world forever and now using digital media and social media to continue to build her brand and her business. And we have Matt Altman coming and Matt Clemens coming and Johnny Perez. So tell us a little bit about what they're going to talk about.
Yeah, so Matt Clemens is the president of Orange County Realtors, and Albert Hernandez, thank you so much. He says that he's in. I know he was thinking about coming to the event, so we're happy to hear that you're going to be joining us. But Matt Clemens is the president of Orange County Realtors. He's out of Laguna Niguel, and he's been using video for quite some time to be able to build his brand in a luxury market. I mean, selling multi-million-dollar homes in Laguna Niguel, and he's leveraged digital technology in order to stay connected with the community. So absolutely love that. And Johnny Perez is just one of these people that has continuously been a trailblazer in the business. I've known Johnny for over 10 years, and he's constantly evolved, and he's always stepped up his game and made sure that he was never satisfied with being okay or being where he's at. He's always wanted to excel. And so it's been amazing to see the team that he's put together with his company, Compass Real Estate, out in San Diego. And it's exciting, and so he's going to bring a ton of energy. And we also have Matt Altman as well, which Matt speaks at events all across the United States. He was actually just in Beverly Hills the other day speaking to like 350 realtors. Yeah, and so he's going to bring some really good insight, and he's been leveraging video in order to focus on conversions. So not just leads, but conversions. I think if more people spent time on conversions, we'd all just be a little bit happier as real estate professionals, because obviously it's not about the number of doors that you knock on, it's how many of those people can you convert once they do open up that door. So that's going to be the lineup. I'm going to be emceeing the event and making sure that all of you have your time and just be able to facilitate a fantastic upcoming session.
It's going to be a great event, and it's not one of those 2-3 day events. It's from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30.
Yeah, so on our marketing we have 9 a.m. So we want everybody to get there
early.
Until 12:30. So we'll have 3.5 hours of solid training, and it's going to be nonstop. And we do have sponsors. So if there's any affiliates, any agents on here that I would even say maybe you can't come to the event, you're going to be out of town. We have gracious people who have stepped up. Brett Rockwell, as an example, has sponsored a couple of tickets for real estate agents.
Brett sponsored,
which is fantastic.
Well, thank you, Brett. I was going to call you. I didn't have a chance, so thank you, my friend.
Christy Munoz from Lawyer's Title, which she's an absolute doll, and I mean I couldn't say more than all the great things about Christy Munoz as being not only one of the first people to support both Matt and I in our ventures of building our company, but to step up the way she did as a sponsorship. Absolutely love her for that. And PRMG, Marlene Hoover, thank you for coordinating and having PRMG step in as a sponsor as well. So thank you to Kevin Perenio as one of the co-owners of PRMG. We connected with them, and we have support from sponsors. So if anybody's looking and wants to be able to donate to a worthy cause, it's going to be well worth it, I promise you.
So a couple things. So I've been involved in supporting getting homeless youth off the streets for about 15 years now. And we're in real estate, so obviously to me real estate is a direct relation to homeless youth, because luckily we all have homes, whether it's an apartment or a rental or a home you own. We're all very blessed, but these youth that are on the streets, they're sex trafficked, they're beaten, they're abused, they're sexually abused. There's a lot of reasons why they're there. And there's 2,500 youth on the streets of Los Angeles each and every day. These are kids from 15 years old on to 22 years old. So to me, it's so important to help them. Jeff, I'm so glad you're watching. Maybe you can bring some of the agents from your office down to Laguna. That would be so great. But we have top agents that are willing to share, give their time to help support homeless youth. And if you can't make it physically there, I understand. You can also buy a ticket for a live downstream, right?
That's right.
Cool. So you can downstream it. And if you don't want to come, I'm sure we'll post videos about the different talks we do. You can make a donation. We'll post a link here later on of where you can make a donation directly to Covenant House for the Seatbelt event to help homeless youth off the street. But for me, we support a lot of charities, whether it's trees or bees or homeless youth or water in Africa or children in China that need support. But to me, I was born and raised in this country. My parents were both immigrants, and I really believe that helping the world starts at home. And I'm in Beverly Hills, but literally in Beverly Hills we have homeless. But 2-3 miles east of here, there's a lot of these young homeless youth that I've had many nights and evenings talking with them. Any of us could be homeless at any time in our lives. It can happen. I think one of the conversations I had with an expert in homeless youth said 2 or 3 negative situations, all of a sudden you can be homeless. And so we never know what can happen in life, what can bring to our life that can change things. But we have an opportunity to help support youth here locally in America to make a difference for our country and for our world. Because I believe the youth on the streets today are the future of our country, our city, and our planet. So the more we can do, whether you just want to make a donation, I don't care if it's $5, it's $10, $20, you want to buy a ticket, you want to donate thousands of dollars. I've had, fortunately, friends that have donated tens of thousands of dollars to help support homeless youth. Whatever you want to do, we appreciate it. If you want to come next week, we'd love to see you. And we're going to just do this to help some youth, right?
Yeah, and I would say just from our local real estate community, we have Johnny Maldonado from Remax Champions North Montana, Mike Cruz from Claremont Escrow, Yesenia Lopez from Parkfield Escrow.
Love Yesenia.
Akshay from Easy Funding out in San Diego. And by way of this group all collectively coming together, we're approaching already $20,000 raised.
Yoo-hoo! Give me five. And it's thanks to your work.
Well, thank you very much. And I would say, I tell Christophe, he planted the seeds for many of us, a lot of us who saw him sleeping in the streets. And I think the video I saw of you, it was raining that day. And if you don't know Christophe, he is amongst one of the most sharpest dressed real estate professionals in the entire United States. And to see you with a sweatshirt and a beanie cold out in the streets, obviously that got my attention because I hit you up to say, hey, if there's anything we can do to help, please let me know. And all I was thinking was maybe help create a video or make a donation. I didn't think about going on out physically sleeping in the streets myself, which that's what I did last year. And so just so thankful that the real estate industry collectively can come on in and hitting $20,000 within a matter of weeks, because we haven't within weeks, less than a month. I thank each and every one of you that have been a part of it. So I would just say help us continuously. Naeem Olachea, he signed up for the event. So
cool.
Naeem,
Hi Naeem, we'll look forward to seeing you.
Absolutely, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in
your
life.
And the money we've raised so far is just the ticket sales from the speaking engagement next week. We have another 25 tickets to sell, so that's another 5 or 10,000. Donations are great as well. And then once that's done, we're going to start the fundraising for the actual sleep out in a few weeks. And our goal is to hit $50,000 between us and the team this year for the sleep out. Last year we did it. We all slept in the streets. Luckily, it didn't rain. But we had the Malibu fires last year, literally the night before we slept out. So we kind of held back on the fundraising because so many people lost their homes in the fires. So we were a bit reluctant to push too hard on that. But this year, we had the fires in Bel Air and Brentwood the last couple of days. Luckily, that's died down. But the sleep out is next month. But again, come next week. Even if you're not in real estate, even though they're real estate agents and people in the industry, being relevant in today's world works for any business. I don't care if you own a liquor store, you own a market, you own a restaurant, a dry cleaners. You can learn things at this event. So if you're in the Glendora area or you're in any business, come to the event. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate, but what we do about social media and marketing and video applies to every single business out there. And it's a new way to market yourself basically for free without spending thousands of dollars in ads. And I can tell you, we still do print ads, magazines, but $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a page to buy an ad in a magazine or a newspaper. That $10,000, if you were to do video posts and social media posts and pay for boosted ads, you can't even imagine the reach you can attract for your business, especially small businesses. If you're a small business, anywhere in the area, anywhere in the country, buy a ticket, watch the videos, you'll learn a lot. Even though it's real estate related, you'll learn a lot, and you'll help support getting homeless youth off the streets, which is the main reason we're doing this. So
this is coming from the #1 video influencer in North America, recognized by BombBomb alone. So words of wisdom.
Oh, this morning a video popped up from 10 years ago, and my wife sent it to me, and I'm like, where'd that come from? And it was like 10 years ago. I said, geez, I've changed a lot in 10 years. I have gray hair now. Probably from sleeping on the streets in the rain.
Yeah, there you
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Hey, Katie in London. Hi, Tibor. How are you? Rosie. Hey, Rosie. Hope you're going to come. We thank you all for watching. We thank you for supporting. And again, if you can't come, hey, Eric, thanks for watching. If you can't come, please, we'll put the link below. Make a donation, and we'll see you there. Or we'd love your support to help get homeless youth off the streets. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. That's it.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bonjour, François. À bientôt.